Hopefully you guys can see each other in that. Have you ever thought of what's inside of something and wondered about that something, how everything inside of it could impact how it works? Have you ever thought about what's in a golf ball and how everything inside of that golf ball can affect how it can also change the game of golf, how people play? Today I'm going to talk about how a golf ball is made and also how the core, the shell, and the paint of the golf ball can affect people's golf game. First I'm going to talk about the core of the ball. This is what the inside of the core of a golf ball looks like. I took so long to cut it open, I finally got it. It's not like it's supposed to be rubberized material. What factories usually do first is that they get all this like compounds materials and they make into one whole rubberized material. And after that, they pour that rubberized material into a mold. And the mold is like a spherical object, and it's heated and pressed to make this hard center. Like about that goes together. And according to the TV show How It's Made, that process is called the shape and bake method. And it's because you pour the mold into it to make the shape of the sphere, and it's baked to create the hard center. Marlo Venables of the Sports Tech of Golf states that the stiffness, compression, the resilience, and the size of the core of the performance is the characterizer of the golf ball. And that is basically true because a more higher compressed golf ball can result in a ball that travels further because it's more small, because it's more compressed, it's a lot harder. But on the downside of that when when people hit the golf ball with the club, there's a shock that goes up to the club and in the person's hands, which can cause discomfort, which people don't really like. But on the other side, a more like lower compressed ball that's not as more dense, it does the exact opposite of a higher compressed ball, and it creates more spin. And most golfers want more spin because when it hits the ground, the ball will spin more, or it can create backspin, so it doesn't roll as far. What most golfers usually want is a golf ball that's usually in between both of them, a ball that can both travel far and also at the same time generate enough spin too. Next, I'm going to talk about the cover of the ball. The ball is actually, when you look at it together, it's obviously like one whole shell, but in the process, it's actually two separate shells. And the process, the material that they use is a liquid called thermoplastic. What they do is that they pour the two pieces of thermoplastic over the core, and it is highly pressurized and heated to create the one whole shell, which is what you see if this was together, which is obviously not. And while that whole process is happening, they also put the dimples on the ball. And the reason for the dimples on the ball is because it creates less drag in the air, less drag makes it even goes further. And different companies like Callaway and Nike, like their dimple sizes are different. Like most basic golf balls are circular sized dimples, but Callaway's has more of an octagon shaped dimple, and people think that the different shape of the dimple can make it travel further. I haven't really experienced that yet because I'm not really good at golf, but I like playing golf anyway. And finally, I'm going to talk about the paint on the ball. During the process of applying the two separate shells onto the core, they usually have a seam that goes around the whole entire thing from when they're two compressed together. The factory usually tries to remove that whole seam around the whole ball, and after that they paint it white like a normal ball, or some driving ranges in the area usually have it painted yellow or like whatever color they want. After that, they usually tag the logo of the ball onto the ball, like it's Nike, Callaway, Titleist, all the different companies, they put their logo on it. After that, they usually put the clear coat on the ball, and the clear coat basically adds a high shine to the ball, which makes it look nice. And also at the same time, it also reduces scuffs. And when it's in the air, if there's a scuff on the ball in the air, it can create drag, which doesn't make it travel as far. And also at the same time, if it hits the ground, like whenever the scuff hits the ground, it won't roll how it's intended to roll. Like if it's supposed to roll straight, it might roll left or right, which might people not like when they play golf. In conclusion, the ball consists of three main portions: the core, the shell, and the paint. And altogether, this creates a small dimpled object we know as the golf ball. Bill Morgan, the VP of Titleist A&D, which is a company of golf company, he states that every element that you add to a golf ball changes multiple characteristics of the ball, and that is basically true. And I hope that all of you who are listening to this are more informed about the process of how golf ball is made, and also at the same time how the core, the shell, and the paint affect different aspects of the ball when people play.